Hello and welcome back to Maths with Mr. DM. Today we are learning bar charts, the types, and how to understand them in a very simple way. Let's go. The first type of bar chart we'll be talking about is a simple bar chart. A simple bar chart is a diagram that's used to represent one variable across different categories using a rectangular bar. Each bar shows one value per category. Example, we have to represent this on a bar chart. Today with this you have to have your graph this way. You have to have the x-axis and the y-axis. So on this axis we have the department, and on this axis we have the number of students. So you have to choose your scale. So let's say we have 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So the first is maths, which is 30 students. So you are going to start with maths, 30 students. 30 students is here. So this is maths. The second is physics, 45. 45 is somewhere around here. So you are going to go that way. This is physics. Let's use PHY for physics. The third is chemistry, which is 25. 25 is somewhere around here. 25. And use your graph. 25 is somewhere around here. So that's what chemistry. Let's use CHM for chemistry. And the last one is biology, which is 40. 40 is somewhere around here. If you trace it, you're going to have something like this. Biology, that is BIO. And this is a simple bar chart. The second type of bar chart we'll be discussing is a component bar chart. A component bar chart shows subdivision within a total value of each category. Each bar is divided into each component or parts. This is an example. We have to represent this using a component bar chart. So let's have our graph. Let's have our department here and number of students. Let's have our scale 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. The first department is the maths department. So you have your maths like this. So the first thing you need to do is you are going to add these two together. 18 plus 12 plus 30. So you are going to have your bar on 30. You have something like this. Alright. So the first one, male. We have 18 male and 12 female. So you are going to go back to your graph. I trace it to 18. It is going to go around here. You are going to shade it. So you shade the male. Automatically the rest is for what? Female. And that's all for maths. The second part is physics. Physics is 25 plus 40. That's 45. You are going to have your bar on 45. 45 is somewhere around here. So you are going to have it. Physics. Have something like this. On 45. Mind you, the width is going to be the same size. So the male is 25. 25 is going to be somewhere around here. 25, so you are going to 25 is somewhere around here. You are going to shade 25 for male. Automatically the remaining 20 is for what? Is for the female. And the last one, chemistry. Let's use CHM for chemistry. You have 10 plus 15, that's 25. 25 is going somewhere around here. So you are going to shade, you are going to have something like this for chemistry. The male is 10. 10 is here. So you are going to shade. That's why the remaining 15 is for female. So you have your key like this, key, just to show what you did. This male, and the one that is not shaded is the female. And that's all about component bar charts. Very simple. This is the third type of bar chart, percentage bar chart. This is an example. A company recorded the number of workers in 3 departments. This department is the number of workers. So the first thing you need to do is you need to confirm this total. 40 plus 30 plus 30, 100. That's correct. So the next step is to convert them into percentage. For that's step 2 now. The step 1 is to confirm the total. Step 2, you need to convert it into percentage. That is 40 over total times 100. 40%. That's for what? Production. For marketing, we have 30 over 100 times 100 equals to 30%. And for admin, equals 30 over 100 times 100. That's 30%. So the next thing is to have your graph. So let's have it to 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So you're going to have just a bar, a single bar, from 0 to 100. Alright, so the first is 40% production. Production is 40%, that's 0 to 40, which is this. Let's use this sign to differentiate it. The next is marketing, which is 30%. 30, from here to there is 10, 20, 30. So this is 30. Let's just keep it like that to start shading for marketing. And the last one, which is 30, they are just 30. This one automatically is 30. That's 10, 20, 30 is what? Admin. So let's just use this key, this symbol to differentiate it. So let's have our key. The first one is this. The second one is what? This. The first one is this is what? Production. And the second one, which is left empty, is what? Marketing. And the last one is what? Admin. And that's that about percentage bar charts. So the fourth type of bar chart we'll be discussing is the multiple bar charts. And here is an example. So in order to do this, we have to have a graph as usual. So let's scale it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And here is the what? Here is the number of students. And here is what? The department. So the first one is what? Math, science department. So let's have our science department here. Science. So they have what? 80 in math, 80 students in mathematics. So let's have our graph like this. So the first one we start with is the science. They have 80 in math and 60 in English. So you are going to start with math 80, it is here. So you are going to do something like this. You're going to be on the 80 mark. English is 60. So 60 is here. So you are going to join English to it. So you can shade that of English to differentiate it. This is for science. The next one is art. They have 50 maths. Let's just have our art here. Art. They have 50 in maths. So the 50 maths is here. So you're going to trace it very well and ensure it is straight. And they have what 17 English. So 17 English, someone going to be around here. So you're going to do something like this. 70 is going to something like this. This is my graph. So let's see shade that of the English to differentiate it from math. And the last one is commerce. They have what 60 students in mathematics. 60 is here. So we're going to go to where 60 is. So we're going to trace it. 60 is somewhere around here. We draw it down. And they have what 40 in what in English. English is 40. 40 is somewhere around here. As usual, you're going to shade this to differentiate it. So we now have your key. You have something like this. This is what math. The one that is unshaded is math. Then English. The one that is shaded. And this is a component bar chart. It's as simple as that. And that is the end of today's lesson on bar chart. If you understand it, do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment what you learned or any questions you have. See you in the next video.